Hi. How was your Valentine's Day? Oh, I feel like a dick. Pardon my language. He broke up with you? Like, why? Just because something isn't, like, good enough? Like, where are my manners? Like, can I get you some coffee? Yeah? Here, girl. So, like, what happened? Like, why would he just think that it's okay for him to do the things? You know? Like, I'm just like, I'm so sad by this. Like, go ahead. Like, let it out. This is a safe space. Space. uh, you know what I did? I literally talked to my boyfriend on FaceTime and, like, watched movies all day yesterday. So, um, I didn't have something super traumatic like you did, but I'm here. So, let's, honestly, I'm tempted. Like, can I read you? Like, no, seriously, can I read you? Like, I want you to know that, like, your guides are telling me that there's something more than what meets the eye. Okay, so let's just get started, because I want you to know the universe wants you to know that there is just so much more out there. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea, yada, yada, yada. Like, but do I actually want to go through and do that? Like, you'll do it on your own time. Like, don't let anybody tell you that, like, time is of the essence. Like, because that's not simply the truth. Like, time will wait. Time will bring in things that are meant for everyone. And I kind of feel like right now, like, now is not the time. Like, we need to get you to the point where, like, if you need to cry, then cry, because that is just unacceptable. He broke up with you because he didn't want to give you a gift, or just felt like it was simply physical. Like, that's messed up. I feel like people have to just, who raised these people? Like, these people's children. That irritates me. Like, if you're not clear about what you want, like, don't get involved with someone. Like, don't lead people on. That's ridiculous. I feel like if that were my child doing that to someone's daughter or to someone's son, let's know that I would handle that quick. That's unacceptable. It's like, what happened to do unto others, Like, what honestly happened? It's a damn shame. It seriously is. So let me sage and clear my decks, and we can get started. That's beyond me. Like, why anybody has the nerve? So please, with these decks, I don't know why I need two of them, so you will let me know. Please allow me to channel these people's messages clearly, accurately, and 100% honest and truthful. I call upon the guides, I call upon Mother Cosmos and their healing womb, I call upon the energy of love to heal. Please, thank you so much. Okay, so our first deck, that I have 5 cards. And these messages are something you need to hear right now. And so we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. I kind of feel like right now you need to focus on yourself. Like, don't go out and be worldly or secularly. I'm really being told that, like, do you, is what I'm hearing. Like, do you. Like, you're not hurting nobody. Like, you feel a certain type of way about it. Like, this shall pass. Like, don't force things, is what I'm hearing with that. We have work to do. Well, you have work to do. Whether it's throwing yourself into work, getting a job promotion, or working on yourself. I mean, after all, you just did go through a heartbreak, and, like, you're super raw about it. And I don't like to throw this in your face, so I am sorry. So I'm saying that, yeah, you're being called to, like, work on yourself right now. Just be advised that we're not talking when you work, if you go to work and you just throw yourself into it and you're not, like, making time for yourself for whatever reason to work on your wounds or to work on like how to get over what you're going through. Like, that's an unhealthy coping mechanism, and I kind of see, like, with these two specifically, with this, like, uncoping mechanisms could come up. Like, I just want to let you know, like, avoid those, because we need to be healthy, you know? We don't need things to cope with. We need to get rid of those. So we have the Page of Swords. So, like, you are super clever. You're ready to just go out and to explore. And, like, you're being really logical and reasonable. And you're really, like, doubling down upon yourself. And you're really thinking, like, okay, my last partner didn't work. What do I want in my next partner? Like, what do I actually need versus what I don't? So, like, don't stifle yourself. Like, you break free. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like right here with the Page of Swords, you're being really called to set out and go elsewhere, you know? And so you have a decision to be made. Like, you're kind of, like, stalemated, right? And you're kind of blind to see, like, where your path is at the moment. And so you're really just, you're filling things out, and it's kind of just wishy-washy at this point. So this is really saying, like, you know, if you make decisions, don't go out and make problems for yourself, is what I see. I kind of feel like with the Page of Swords, not even I do feel like with what you're going through, like the aggression, the anger, like you need an outlet. So I think like working on yourself, like especially with the Knight of Pentacles, I kind of feel like you need like a release of aggression. Like you need to find something that allows you to release your anger, your hurt. So we have the Knight of Cups, and just know like if you continue to be this way and you just like continue to let this stew, like your sacrifice is meant for nothing, you know what I mean? And then it's like just accept what you need to accept and move on, you know? And this is what I'm saying, like if you have courage in the face of adversity, even though you don't feel like that with the Knight of Cups and the Pentacles, I kind of feel like you went through all that for nothing. So if you work on yourself, you really have to get like honest with yourself. And you're just like, yo, like, there is such a thing as a fool's victory, but I kind of feel like with you at the moment, you're kind of just like, oh, pity poor me, like, you know, he did this to me, but did you really look at a perspective and think, what is going on, you know? And apparently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. So we have the Sun. So this is saying, like, right now you're kind of topsy-turvy and, like, the sun, it feels like it doesn't shine. So maybe you were, like, really in love with this person. Or maybe you really had, like, strong feelings and you wanted to take it to the next level. And so you're kind of just, like, you know what I mean? Like, a detour in that just threw your, like, wrench in your little, like, plan. So I kind of feel it's, like, right now you're kind of seeing, like, delusion. You're not actually seeing things for what it is. Then we have the Hierophant. So basically you are like super inside yourself at the moment. And you're not seeing like, sorry, the dogs. I kind of feel like you're so focused within yourself that like your spirit is really trying to give you comfort. Like the universe is really trying to give you comfort. Whatever you believe in, God is trying to give you comfort. But like you're not seeing that because you're so like rot in yourself, you know what I mean? You're in that pity. So you're really called upon to like really look, you know, and really internalize all this wisdom, this knowledge. Like don't go to outside self-helps. Like I'm really being told like you need to really focus on yourself. Like, and especially with the Eight of Pentacles being a working card, this is what it is. And like you cannot set off and balance right now. Like you can't go out into a journey because right now, like, we're still preparing our preparations to go on to this journey. So it's like, don't set off thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna get healing, you know, on my journey. Because honestly, like, if you're not willing to basically go into it with a blank state, or, you know, remove the hurt that was already previously there, like you're just gonna manifest and you're gonna be thinking, oh, I'm thinking about this person, you're gonna be miserable, you're gonna do this, you're gonna want a detour, you're gonna want to take a full U-turn here and there. So this is really telling you, like, you need to heal before you start something new. So it's like, don't, like, right now you're kind of juggling your emotions, you're going through the motions, and this is just saying, like, don't pick and choose, you know what I mean? Like, you can basically say that I got a lot on my plate, and basically put it on the back burner for, you know, maybe like a week or so, but, like, eventually you need to clear your plate, you know? And I want you to know that they're telling you, like, it's okay to take a break for you when you need to take a break. Like, you don't have to juggle everything. So time heals. This is basically saying, like, your wounds, like, you coming to me and you're talking to me and you're allowing me to do this. Like, there is something in play that's telling me that your wounds are healing. Like, you're talking about it. So I'm kind of getting, like, seek therapy. Either do a journal or talk to someone. Like, really let it out in a very trusting environment. And you kind of feel really, like, just closed off with the Three of Pentacles. That there is no social interaction or interaction. And I kind of feel like you're really being called to, sorry, like, my nose is, like, really itchy. And I'm sorry for the background. Like, yeah. You're really being called to let go, you know what I mean? Like, don't just keep thinking I, especially with this, like, you know what I mean? Like, don't be a poor loser, or a poor winner, excuse me. Like, you have all these things, but you're focusing on that one thing that you don't have. Like, the dude broke up with you, or she broke up with you, like, first off, like, you're better out. Like, I know it's better said than done, but let's be honest, that's less drama. Like, do you. You know what I mean? Like, do you until you can't do you. And then you can come to me and we can have this discussion, because I'm always going to be here. So yeah, like, be grateful. I'm hearing, like, seriously, be grateful for what you have. Like, if you want to be a trophy, be a trophy. I know that sounds really ridiculous, but relax, you know what I mean? And then we have union, the union card. There is a celebration, so I kind of feel like once you get emancipated from your feelings and what you're juggling and really find yourself again, like, find your ground, find your center, or find your new, like, there is a celebration. So, like, I'm not saying this, but I hear, like, have a party, you know what I mean? Like, if you gotta go and get and be, like, grateful for what you have, like, boom, do it. I mean, I'm not saying, like, go, like, crazy, but, yeah, I'm just hearing, like, celebrate, you know what I mean? There's a reason to celebrate, and you are the reason to celebrate. Like, you got through that. Since I'm hearing the celebrate card in the Four of Wands, can we be looking forward to maybe a small scale party, a small scale emancipation, a divorce party? What? Ask for help. Like, this is really saying that, you know, there is a form of destitution. There's unhealthiness, whether this is financial or not. I feel like you're liberating yourself from this, because, you know, beggars can't be choosers, you know what I mean? And, like, if you feel like you're following, you know, the leader at this point, are you doing it for the better? Are you just following the pack because, you know, someone says, oh, do this? I kind of feel like you need to find your own voice. You need to ask for help. So you coming here today, or, you know, is really on that first step to say, hey, I'm asking for help. I'm asking the universe for help. I'm asking for God. So, like, just know, like, everything is going to work out. There is a divine justice right now. There's balance. There's boundaries. This outcome is, whether it's good or bad, it will come. You know what I mean? And I see that with that. It's like, just be patient. You know what I mean? Like, and I kind of just hear, and I don't want to be petty or toxic, but, this person did this to you, honey. It's gonna rotate, and justice is gonna bite this person in the butt. Like, I'm hearing that right now. So it's like, be cunning. Be cunning about what you do, like, what you decide. Like, just don't think that you're doing it for, like, the wrong reasons. Like, you're not gonna just, like, glow up. Like, oh, I got out of a relationship. I did my, you know, my toxic work. I worked on myself, and I did this, and I'm gonna have a glow up, you know? Like, don't don't do it for the wrong reasons. Like, don't be malicious about it. With the Hierophant, because of the fact that I get the fact that there is something super creative that wants to come out, but there's like a block in place. Like, what is that block? What is that block? I kind of feel like you're hoarding something. Like right now, you're really hoarding. And mind you, okay, so we have this, right? So you have the Sun reversed, the Hierophant reversed, and then you have the High Priestess upright. So I'm really seeing, like, you kind of feel like topsy-turvy. So, like, matters that are secular actually matter to you versus what people say about you before that you didn't even care about. So I kind of feel like you're taking people's gossip or these mechanisms that are making you feel worse. I kind of feel like, you know, if you're watching rom-coms and you're like, you see like the metaphoric like breakup, and I'm just saying like Legally Blonde in my head. Like, you know, when she goes to law school to potentially like show that she is better than her boyfriend and to get him back. And it's like, don't do that. Like, you're proving someone just because of the fact that, like, you're finding your little area and you didn't think that she would, but, like, you see, like, all this naked, you know, vulnerability that he's crying behind closed doors, and they're just, like, you know, they're giving her all these, like, things, you know, to make her feel better, and yet they're just enabling a coping mechanism is what I'm seeing. So, like, remember, like, everything is going, like, don't stifle yourself. Don't, like, limit your heartbreak. So, like, right now, because of the blockages, like, you're really trying to free yourself from the limitations, but I feel like you're limiting yourself by, you know, repressing these things. So, like, if you have unhealthy coping mechanisms, that's what I'm seeing this block is, like, you're wanting something, and, like, mind you, things will end, you know what I mean? Eventually, everything will end for a reason. So, it's like, just know, like, if you have the courage to fight for what you love and what you want to do with your life and how you feel, like, enough is enough. Like, you control all of that. Like, you control what you feel and what you don't feel. And I get this. And we have two. Like, don't accept limitations. Like, don't accept illusions. Don't go back to patterns. Like, we're breaking free for this. And this is what I see in justice is we're not accepting the things that we were accepting before. So, beggars can't be choosers, you know what I mean? And I see that. Like, don't accept illusions, don't accept dreams. And then we have judgment, like, you know what I mean? Like, be kind to yourself, but assess the situation in better terms. Like, don't allow yourself to accept the same mediocrity that you did, because stupidity is saying that you do the same thing every time and you expect something different. Like, that's what I get off of that. And it's really saying, like, don't let anybody judge you. You know what I mean? Because you have to judge the situation to put yourself in best for or better shoes. And then we have this, which is the Three of Wands. So there is creativity that will come out when you judge the situation better. And you just don't allow yourself to be put in situations. You know what I mean? Because you have boundaries. You have justice. And so, like, just really work on yourself is what I'm saying. Like, don't stifle your creativity. Don't stifle. Don't settle. Don't think you're not good enough, because, babe, you're good enough. You're the whole damn cake. You know what I mean? Like, no one gets their cake and eat it too, but you're the whole damn cake, and you're super appealing. Like, you know, like, you'll attract. You know what I mean? Just have a better situation and a better judgment, because not everyone gets to eat at the dinner, you know, table, or just in general. Not everyone deserves a plate at your table. Let alone they don't even deserve an invitation to the cookout. Okay? Are there any last cards that you would like? The King of Swords. There's logic. There is, like, everything will make sense at the end of the day. Like, once you go through this and you start and you look back at where you were, like, you know, say a year from now or 6 months from now, you're gonna be like, no wonder why that didn't work out. Like, thank God. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't see that coming, but I'm grateful for that. So this is basically saying, like, count your blessings. Like, I'm really hearing count your blessings and be grateful for what you have. You know what I mean? Like, relationship wise, it may not be the better, you know what I mean? Because I feel like you've kind of been dealt like a pile of ick, and so you're removing that, you know what I mean? You're telling him, be like, no, send that back to the kitchen. Like, I don't want it. Like, you know, and it's saying, like, don't be begging. Like, don't beg people for your attention, like, or for their attention, because, like, if they're not willing to give it to you full-hearted without you asking, like, doing the bare minimum, like, no one deserves the bare minimum. So Temperance, have balance, you know what I mean? Temper yourself down, like, don't go crazy, and that goes with Judgment. Like, just don't be, like, super harsh, you know? Like, love yourself, you know what I mean? And I get that. It's, like, finding balance and, like, finding, you know, a balance of your work, your romantic, your emotion, your, just everything that goes on inside you that you feel or you think, like, temper that. And I kind of get with, like, beggars can't be choosers with the Five of Pentacles. You know what I mean? When you ask for help, it's, like, Judgment, too. So I kind of get this with a sense of this, like, don't beg, you know what I mean? Don't plead. Like, have a better judgment of situations, but, like, have a balance and you know, really work on, like, your mind and your thought, because I feel like you're kind of just all over the place. So we have two more cards. We have the Queen of Wands, and then we have the Five of Wands. So really, you got a lot of fire energy right now. You got some swords and some fire, and I feel like you're really fighting yourself, you know what I mean? You're fighting your surrounding, and you're trying to burn things away that aren't they're there to teach you a lesson, but if you let them stew into that, I just feel like with the Queen of Wands, this is really telling you, like, you are cunning, you are wise, and yet you have the ability to make a negative out of it, is what I get. Like, you can use your power for the wrong reasons, and I get that, kind of. But because of that, there's a sense of light, if that makes any sense. Like, I get a sense of light. So, like, right now, like, because of the conflict that you're feeling, maybe with other people, you're kind of feeling, like, short with yourself, or you feel really temperamental. You know what I mean? And I kind of feel that with, like, Judgment, you're just ready to, like, up in someone's face, you know, especially with the, you are a, kind of like a sore loser, so right now, like, you just gotta rip the band-aid off, is what I get with that. And right now, I kind of feel like with this card specifically, like, you have the ability to manifest or to make an abundance and, like, be responsible with it. But like I said, you have this power, but I feel like you're using it for the wrong reasons. And we need to assess the situation. Just, like, know that, like, if you force the hand, you know what I mean, that is something that was meant to remove you from this, you know, situation to give you something better. Like, it's gonna bite you in the butt. And I see that with Justice. So basically, if you make a decision, yes. If you make a decision, you know what I mean, just know that, like, every action has a consequence. So, you know, or a reaction, put it that way, not a consequence, because, you know, consequences are negative. But yes, like, you're being watched, but I see that you're really stepping into a new part of you, like a new shoe, a new character growth. And it's like, don't assassinate yourself for someone. Like, don't settle, don't be less than what you are, because you're everything. You know what I mean? If someone can't understand that, then there's the door. So, love, I hope this reading makes you feel any better. I know it's so disappointing. I feel heartbroken for you. So, why don't we get into some PJs, you know, finish our coffee, and, you know, let's talk. Let's go do something, or, you know, let's go take a drive. You know, let's go do something that makes you feel better. It kind of takes your mind off of it, but it also kind of feels like, you know, you're loved, you're supported, and I want you to feel like that with me. Like, I want you to feel supported. I don't know why, But I kind of feel like there is a message for this person that I'm getting and he wants you to know why he did this. If there's something, why he did it, and I'm hearing why. And it's like burdens. He had burdens of himself, and I kind of feel like it was a financial situation that he was going through. And like the Page of Pentacles, like he was trying to be clever, like he didn't want to hurt you, and yet he felt like he was hurting you. And he just felt like you deserved so much better. You know what I mean? Like he couldn't give you the things that you wanted. And it was just unrealistic, that you just had unrealistic standards. So he kind of felt like you were putting expectations on the relationship that he wasn't ready for. So like he just felt like with the worlds and that with balance and the King of, Wands, I feel like he had to assist the situation, and yes, it hurt you, but he didn't want to tamper with karma, if that makes any sense, because he felt like something was just super off and had to get out. So he's like going through time, like he's temporary exile, or he's really retreated into himself, and yet he knows that like with you, you kind of like, you know what I mean? Like it was something, I kind of feel like it was something you said or something you wanted that he couldn't give you. So his reflection of the situation, like he wants you to know that like he is super sorry. But like with the Hermit and the Four of Swords, I kind of feel like he kind of wanted to ghost you a while ago, but he just went there and like something was just like, I don't know about this. So okay, we have the Chariot in reverse, and this is really telling that you need to stop like forcing, you know what I mean, like stop driving the situation to make it worse, and because he's not prepared for that. So like he's like with you, like take your plate and things like that. He's really like career focused, I'm seeing that. And like we have this Star, so he's really focusing on like expanding his horizons and things, and like focusing on what he wants. And then we have the Knight of Wands, and I kind of feel like with this, he didn't want to tell you like he wanted to go elsewhere. And I feel like this was just an easy way for him to let you down. You know what I mean? Because I want her to know that she deserves better. You know what I mean? And I hear mediocrity. But there's something that he was trying to create that you kind of just like hiccuped. You know what I mean? And it really made him realize that he wanted it more, and he never tried to actually hurt you. So he is sorry. So there's just something, and he wants you to know that like if you would like, you could be friends, eventually. But there is limitations that he's got to come out with. So I'm seeing some mirror kind of energy going on, because there's 3 cards that have mirrored thus far. Oh, 4. So he's reflecting, he's acquiring knowledge, he's trying to assess the situation better, and he's really like hoping that he can better himself financially, because I kind of feel like there is something limiting about that situation, and that situation he didn't want you knowing about. I kind of feel like, not lies, but I kind of feel like this individual was kind of just dancing on the subject, and it was just like you put him out on the spot with the Chariot. He just felt like on the spot and in the like center stage, and he's not used to that. And he just wants you to know that like it's not you, it's him. You know what I mean? Like it was a blessing in disguise, and you were really good until it was not good, if that makes any sense. So then we have the Page of Pentacles, and I kind of feel like with him, he's established, he's not trying to wander, he's not doing this. So I'm kind of thinking maybe he's really focused on himself, that he didn't realize that that's all he's been focused on. And that's why he's been juggling back and forth. And then the Hangman, he's sacrificing something. You know what I mean? For something to better a situation. So there is a willing sacrifice on his part. And I feel like that sacrifice was letting you go because he knows that you are better off without that. So again, there is conflict. There was always conflict. And he just, like, he knows that you were just so much better off without him. And so that's why he was willing to let you go. Even though he knows that it's hurtful. So yeah, he's trying to set off on a new journey. So he's trying to heal. And then the moon. So you both have mirrored at this point. So he's like, just don't buy illusion. Don't buy the shit. I kind of feel like with him, he's trying to rebirth something, or rebirth a creativity or dreams. So I'm kind of thinking maybe with the sun and the stars and the moon that is in this reading, he could potentially, you know, have wanted that dream that you were talking about, that you wanted so much. Something that you really bonded over. And I kind of feel like there's dream play at that moment. So he's getting over something, you know what I mean? He's protecting himself. And then we have the Hierophant, which he's really trying to step back, and like he's really like a dominating force. He's just like, I get this done. And you know, there's a softer approach, because I know that he feels like he had to dominate this situation to basically get out of it so he wouldn't hurt you worse. Because I feel like, I don't know why with the heartbreak card, I kind of feel like, you know, releasing that. So yeah, there is obstacles. He's creating obstacles. I kind of feel like he's going through a situation at home that he didn't want to tell you or basically get you involved with. So he just felt like a willing sacrifice was to let you go. And maybe eventually, you know, you could forgive, or maybe you could be friends. So this is what the person that broke up with you is wanting to tell you, like, spiritually. I kind of get some F-boy, like, vibes here, kind of, the both of you. So I just want you to know that let's go do something. Like, this is tough. Like, let's go. Because I feel bad for you. But you know what? There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, they're going to get what they deserve at the end of the day. And so will you. So let's go have fun.